Hey guys, today we're going to talk to you about my Mora Bushcraft Black. Had this knife well over probably 2 years, definitely over a year. But I did a video a while back on it, about, I think a year ago or so, and I did one. It was kind of a crappy review, and I just kind of decided to stop doing reviews after I haven't used the knife or whatever product for at least a year, because I don't really think you should do a review on a knife or any piece of gear unless you've actually used it and you've had time to kind of come to a conclusion of how good it really is. I see unboxings all the time, and those are just crap videos because you can't really review something if you haven't actually used it. So anytime you see any of my reviews, it's just going to be straight up using it after a year or so, because I want to make sure it's a really good product and I actually want to use it. But this is my Mora Bushcraft Black. Like I said, I've had it about 2 years or so. It's been an awesome knife. Comes razor sharp out of the box. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, Mora makes just quality knives anyways. I mean, I've never had anybody really complain too much about how good a Mora is. I mean, none of them I don't think are full tang unless you want to spend a little more money. But I mean, some of the survival instructors like Cody Lundeen, I mean, he carried, I think it was a Mora number 2 or number 1, and whatever it was a $15 knife, guys. And Joshua Hamlin, he carries a Mora Companion, that's about a $15 knife. And he uses that just as good as one of those guys that pay $500 for one of their knives, because he knows how to use it and what its abilities are. You got to kind of know your limits and your knife's limits really to really use a knife, I think. Because I see people that just do ridiculous things where they take their knife and it's like, it'll be a Mora, and they'll take it and they'll stick it into a tree and they'll wiggle it back and forth and it'll snap, and they'll say that it's a crappy knife because you can't stick it into a tree and wiggle it around. And you're not supposed to do that with any knife. So I always end up scratching my head of why people do that, but I don't know, maybe it's just me, but we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the specs on this knife. I'll go out, get us a piece of black walnut. We'll have some fun with you guys. Just keep watching. Alright guys, here's a better look at it. See, it says Mora right there on it. Carbon steel blade. It's got that protective black coating on it, which I love. 90-degree spine. Great for striking a ferro rod. Show you guys that real quick. Works really well. Got a great rubber handle on it. I'm not a big fan of rubber handles, but the handle actually works really, really well for this knife. It comes crazy thick, or crazy sharp, I mean. It's 3.2 millimeters thick, the blade. The blade itself is 4 1/8 of an inch long, 3.2 millimeters thick. Overall, it's 9 1/8 overall. I've been using this thing over a year, and I have to say that I'm really impressed with how well this thing has held up. But it does have some residue on it from that fat wood we used the other day. That's not rust, it's just residue from that fat wood. Can't forget to talk about the sheath. It's a pretty good sheath for being plastic. Comes with a diamond sharpener that works great. Sits in there real tight. Also comes with a ferro rod. This ferro rod's been used a lot, so whenever you get it brand new, it looks a lot different. Plus I melted some Gorilla Tape. That way I could use it as kind of a grip. I don't have to worry about it falling off on me with a hair tie. That way I put it on my belt without worrying about it falling off. But it works really good. Haven't had any issues with my knife falling out. See how well this throws a spark, guys. Go ahead and give you a look at how well this thing batons. This is a piece of black walnut, guys, that went through it pretty easy. Nice straight cut too. It's not always going to be like that, but worked out like that this time. Pretty good mess of firewood right there for a knife. Show you how well that 90-degree spine works. Let me zoom in on the log. See that I got a pretty good sized pile. It's not bad. And there she goes. Almost as good as carrying a mag bar. For those of you that actually carry those. Pretty good at feather sticking too. Show you how well these guys carve too. Remember, this is a piece of black walnut, guys. See that point already? Pretty good tip on it. Okay guys, my overall thoughts on this knife. There's not a whole lot wrong with it, but there are a few things that I would change. If I was going to change anything about it, it would have to be that the knife would be full tang. It is not a full tang. That's one of the only real drawbacks to it. It only comes down to about here. So it's not a full tang. I would love to see a full tang version of this come out. If they did, I could totally see having this as a main carry. One of the other things I would change would be the sheath. It's not the greatest sheath, but it's not the worst sheath they make. But it comes with a sharpening stone on it, which I like. It'll keep your knife razor sharp. But I would like to see a coydog sheath or something like that. But I mean, it'll hold your knife. I'm not going to say that it won't fall out if you're like hanging upside down or something like that and moving all over the place. See, it'll fall out. But as long as you're not hanging upside down, you're going to be just fine. The ferro rod that comes with it is really good quality. I put the hair tie on it and the Gorilla Tape, melted it down so it'll stay on a little bit better. Because the more you use your ferro rod, the smaller it's going to get in diameter for the ferro rod holder, and it won't fit in it anymore. It'll just slide out. So you need to come up with some kind of way to keep it from doing that. The needle did not come with it. I put that in myself. But that's really the only bad things I can say about it. This is overall an awesome knife. I would highly suggest going out picking one of these up. I know the Sigma 3 store carries them and the Pathfinder store carries them. They're both two really good schools. If you want to help support those guys, I would suggest going through Sigma 3 and the Pathfinder store. You can get them through eBay too, but supporting those guys is kind of a cool thing to do. But that's all I can really say about this knife, guys. I mean, buy one, you won't regret it at all. Just have some fun with it. Get out there and enjoy the outdoors, guys. Thanks for watching my video. Leave any comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave any comments, and we'll see you guys next time.